My name's Andre Mercer, and I thought I was living a normal life. Husband, business owner, ex soldier, who now runs a cybersecurity firm in Seattle. Turns out I was dead wrong. That Tuesday morning started like any other. I was fighting with our overpriced espresso machine while my wife Clara chopped fruit at the counter. Married 3 years, still in love, still wondering how I convinced her, a multilingual genius, to marry a paranoid ex military guy like me. Then my phone rang. My brother Miles. He's an airline pilot, steady, no nonsense, but his voice was tight, almost panicked. Andre, is Clara home right now? I glanced up. Yep, she was 10 feet away, humming while slicing strawberries. Yeah, she's right here. A pause. Then Miles whispered, That's impossible. I'm looking at her right now. She just boarded my flight to Paris, with another guy. My coffee mug slipped out of my hand and shattered on the floor. And then, footsteps behind me. Clara's footsteps. She asked if I was okay, her voice warm and familiar. But in that moment, I knew something was very, very wrong. At first, I thought Miles had made a mistake. But I'm paranoid by trade. I started digging. Financial records, security camera footage, texts. The details didn't add up. Clara had humming habits, handwriting quirks, left-handed gestures, all missing lately. The woman in my house looked like my wife, sounded like my wife, but tiny cracks gave her away. The truth was horrifying. If Miles was right, my real wife was in Europe. The woman sharing my bed was an imposter. I called an old friend Beck, a PI who used to serve with me. Within hours, he confirmed my fear. Her name wasn't Clara. It was Ria Marov, a deep-cover infiltrator, professional, dangerous. And the real Clara? She had vanished on a work trip weeks earlier. For 3 months, I had been living with a spy. Every meal, every kiss, every casual laugh, all part of her cover. So I played along. If Ria was after secrets, I'd feed her poison, fake research wrapped in just enough truth to seem real. She stole it, handed it off, and I tracked every move. Then I found Clara's breadcrumb. Hidden in her jewelry box was a key to a Swiss deposit box, and a memory card labeled Geneva. Inside that box, notes, surveillance, names. Clara hadn't just been translating manuscripts in Prague. She had been secretly working with Interpol, tracking an international espionage network led by a man named Raphael Voss. They infiltrated corporations, replaced key people with imposters, stole secrets, and erased the originals. And Clara had stumbled too close. I knew what I had to do. I flew to Geneva under an alias, found proof of the mountain facility where Clara was being held, and began planning a one-man rescue. Breaking into that fortress in the Alps was insane. Armed guards, cameras, motion sensors. But love makes you stupid, and tactical stupidity is my specialty. At 3 a.m., I climbed that mountain in the freezing dark, crawled through a maintenance shaft, killed power in one wing, slipped past cameras, and finally, I reached sublevel 2, cell A7. Through the window, Clara, pale, thinner, but alive. When the lock clicked, she looked up. Her whisper nearly broke me. Andre? I had her hand in mine. We started running, and that's when the alarms screamed. 12 rifles blocked our path. At the front, Voss himself. Beside him, Ria. No disguise now, just cold eyes watching me. You came far, Voss said. I smiled, even as every instinct screamed this was suicide. You think I came alone? I tapped my tablet. The explosives I'd planted earlier cut the power. The mountain shook. Emergency lights flickered on, just in time for Swiss tactical police to storm the facility. See, my poisoned files hadn't just mapped their network. They'd been sending evidence to Interpol the whole time. The fortress was swarming with law enforcement. Voss cursed and tried to run. Ria aimed her gun at Clara. I didn't think. I took the bullet in my shoulder, pain exploding, but fired back. My shot hit center mass. Ria fell. The woman who had worn my wife's face was gone, and Clara was in my arms. The aftermath? Chaos. Weeks of government debriefings, international trials, Voss and his people dragged into daylight, Clara testifying, her evidence dismantling their entire network. She's healing now, still has nightmares, but she's alive. Me? I've got a scar on my shoulder that throbs when it rains. Small price to pay. Clara once asked, "Do you ever think about what would have happened if you hadn't figured it out?" Every day. But I told her this: she's too smart to vanish without leaving a trail, and I'm too paranoid to miss it when someone tries to steal my life. Together, that's why we won.